Hi everyone, my name's Anne-Marie. Welcome to card making tutorial 602. Now we're going to make a gorgeous card today that's got lots of flat layers, something a little bit different, and I think you're going to like this because you're going to be able to use it with so many different collections that you have, and it's actually a minimal amount of products. So the first thing that we're going to use is we're going to use the Vintage Frame and Sentiment stamps and dies. These are my new favourites at the moment, you might be able to tell. We're going to use the Happy Birthday stamp. This could be easily substituted if you don't have this set. It's just the stamp that we're going to use, and it's just for the insert. Then we're going to use the Anna Griffin all square set of dies. We're going to be using the small circle, both the ornate layer and the shadow layer. And then we're also going to use the large square, the shadow layer and the ornate layer. Something very different this card. Everything I do use, check my blog because it's all listed on there with extra photos as well, lots of information. So please share with your crafty friends. Let everybody know about my blog. Let everybody know about my videos. So the first thing that we're going to need is our base card. Now this is a 6x6 square ivory blank card. On the back of the card I've used my Anna Griffin handmade by stamp and I've signed my name. I've put the tutorial number just so that I don't forget. But if you add your name underneath your handmade by label, then the recipient will know who has made that card for them if they keep it, and in years to come they'll be able to think, oh, Anne-Marie made that for me. Now I'm going to use my bone folder on the blank card across the crease to make sure that it's a nice sharp crease. Now for any new viewers, the bone folder is from the Anna Griffin tool collection. It is a handy tool for creasing and helping fold, things like that. It's a tool that you might look at and think, oh, I don't know if that's for me, but you will find it very, very useful. So I'm running it along the crease and we're going to create the inside first. Now the inside for this I think is just as ornate as the outside in a different way, but it is really pretty. So the first thing that I've needed is some patterned paper. So we're using the Anna Griffin Charlotte collection for this. However, it would work with many of Anna's collections. So I've cut this to 5.8 by 5.8 inches square, and I'm going to peel off the back of the double-sided tape. I always call it flat tape, and I always forget, new viewers might not know what I mean. So it's double-sided tape that I call flat tape. I'm going to position the square of pattern paper through the centre of the inside and press it down like that. Then I've got a piece of square black cardstock that I've cut to roughly 4.5 inches. I've got flat tape on the back of it. You can remove the back, and I'm just going to pop that over the centre. And I know so many of you saying, oh, but you're covering up that beautiful pattern. Yes, I am. Sometimes you have to. Press that down. Next, I've taken what looks like a scrap. Now for the front of our card we're using this beautiful paper, and well, I'm saying beautiful paper, the beautiful collection, the Charlotte collection, and I had this as a scrap and I've cut it down and I've die cut the small ornate all square, I'm going to call it a doily, the ornate doily part of it out, and it's just looks so pretty. I didn't want to waste the actual patterned paper really. So I've got flat tape on the back of it and I'm just going to position it through the centre of the black layer that we've just added. There we go, and I'm being careful because it's stuck to my fingers underneath. And I thought one wrong move and I'm going to be in trouble. There we go. Press that down. Now because I've die cut the centre out, because I've used that for the front of our card, I'll just show you what I mean. So I've used that for the front. I'm not wasting anything. So this is my waste, so to speak, from the front. So I've die cut the shadow layer there, and then I've stamped it using the Happy Birthday stamp, and the shadow layer is in the ivory cardstock. Now this is going to cover over where I've die cut the ornate layer from the patterned cardstock, and it's going to cover the die cut to make it look as though it's actually a layer. There we go. Press that down, and that is the inside of our card. So there's a lot of room for you to be able to write your message, your to and your from. You've got that touch of gold from the Charlotte paper underneath the centre panel, and it's just so pretty. So now we're going to create the outside, and this is all about layers. So I've just used my bone folder again to make sure that that edge is nice and flat. Our first layer for the base of the card is just plain black cardstock, which sometimes can make the colour of card just stand out so well. I've cut this to 5.8 by 5.8 inches so that it creates the perfect base and gives just an edge around the card like a frame. Our next layer is from the Charlotte collection, and I've cut this to 5.6 by 5.6 inches, and this card is all about the layers. Even though they're flat layers and some of them are going to be covered over, but it's building something like a dimensional card without the dimension. You'll see what I mean as we go along, and it's just remembering where everything's going to go to make the recipient think, wow, that's a clever card. Our next layer, again from the Charlotte collection, is the ornate layer from the all square set for the larger square, and it's the shadow layer. Flat tape on the back of it, we can just peel that away and then place that roughly to one side of the card, like so. So we're butting up to this edge near enough. There we go. So we're not symmetrical there, we're just a bit further onto the right as we're looking at it. We've got our ornate layer that we've cut from the same turquoise and gold Charlotte paper, and we're just putting the ornate layer over the previous layer, which was our shadow layer, and dropping it down flat, press it down, so all our layers are building up. Next, I've cut a piece of black cardstock with flat tape on, oops, and we're going to add this just to one side of our previous layer, like so. Just the tips touch out, but we can see this side. Our next layer is a piece of patterned cardstock from the Charlotte collection. Now don't worry about sizes at this point, because it doesn't really matter. You can use your scrap and you're just building up your different layers. So next we have a square from the Charlotte collection with flat tape on the back, and we're just going to add that to kind of off centre, like so. Our next layer is black cardstock, and over the previous layer, like so. And then we've got the final layer for this section from the Charlotte collection, and these were 3 3/4 and 3.5 inches basically. There we go. Next, we have our ornate, our shadow layer from the small doily die from the All Square set. Again, the Charlotte Collection cardstock. And then we have the ornate layer. So you see how it's all layers. You see what I mean about remembering which way we're going with them all. So that's our ornate layer. Okay. Next, we've got a final layer. And I've just, as I was prepping, I got carried away and I stuck the Charlotte layer onto the black cardstock. So this is the first one that's on 3D foam. So this is our last layer that we're going to add to the left side as we're looking at it. I've then taken 3 of the swallowtail sentiments from the favourite sentiment sticker collection from Anna. And I've got 2 that are the same and 1 different. So I'm going to add the one that's different in the middle. So let's get them the right way around. So I'm going to add 1 to one side. And then the middle one is the one on it that's different, like so. I'll just tuck that in a little bit more. There we go. And then the final one, just peel the back of them away with them being stickers. There we go. So that's the final one. Then I'm going to take one of the 3D stickers that came with the actual Charlotte collection, and I'm going to add that. However, if you don't have these, if you're using just a collection of cardstock that you don't get dimensional stickers with, and you've got other 3D floral stickers from Anna or whatever collection you're using, then go for it. Add something different. So all you have to do is simply pull the back carrier sheet away from you and start peeling the sticker away from the sheet for anybody that's new and they've never used stickers before. So just peel it away. There we go. And it'll all come away from the carrier sheet. And we're going to simply add that to the top of that panel. And then I've got a tiny bow that I'm going to add just over the flower centre. And that is our card finished. Now you can see how much dimension there is in that with all those layers, but there's no height. So if you have to send this far away and you're worried about postage weight, use all paper instead of cardstock to save on the weight, but you're getting the dimension. And you've just got that one panel on 3D foam and the flowers. And it just works so well. That's your inside that matches perfectly with the colours and the gold. Stands up, will definitely go on a mantelpiece. I just think that's a beautiful card. And the work that goes into it, even though it's flat, it would work with so many different collections. And of course, change your sentiments. I've used Happy Birthday. And, you could just use whatever you wanted. If you've got paper tricks too, and you've got the swallowtail dies from Anna, you could build your own sentiments and your swallowtails to use. There's so many different options. Please check my blog for everything that I've used and all the ingredients, and lots more photos of the projects as well. And there's so much there to look at. Feel free to share with your crafty friends. Please give me the thumbs up. I love hearing from you. So let me know what you think. And I'm just so glad that you enjoy the project. So I would just like to say thank you so much for watching. And I shall see you next time.